What is going on, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a good one on our hands here. We got the PGA Championship here, PGA Championship at Pub Sports Radio. I got my guy, as always, Connor Mack. What's going on, Connor? How you doing, my guy?
What's up, my man? Good show today, PGA. Quick turnaround. You know, we do these Sundays and get right to it, but it's huge with the major. Real quick, let's chop it up right now before you get into this week here with the PGA. How did you do this week? I only had one top 20. I barely scraped. I made a little bit of money because Schwartzel was plus 750. But man, KH Lee, let's talk about it real quick. Unreal. Guy wins it back to back. Couldn't believe it. I was like, no way that's gonna happen. But
yeah, I was gonna try and avoid as much as I can about my six pack. Mito Pereira, our longest shot, was doing quite well, but KH Lee, I think I brought him up maybe a little bit there. He's 100-1 above that, I believe it was. Third ever back-to-back at the Byron Nelson since Tom Watson. I think it was back in the 80s, something like that, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Good for him. You know, he was a birdie fest just like we expected. You know, Matsuyama, give him a couple more holes. I bet you he probably would have won it. That approach shot he had on 18. Typical Matsuyama. I think it was a 5-foot in, about 235. Just stuck it within like 10 feet or less and then made the eagle putt. So it was a hell of a tournament. KH Lee, he just, you know, it's really horses for courses is a real thing in golf, guys. And you saw it with KH Lee. He did it again, going 25 under, Connor?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 25 under.
Yeah, 25 under. So this guy's, you know, when you see Birdie Fest, keep KH Lee in mind. Moving on to this week, though, it's going to be a lot tougher here at this redesigned 2016 Southern Hills. And when we say Southern Hills, I mean hills. There's a lot of hills at this golf course. When it comes to the fairways, you got the greens, around the greens. It's really slopey, almost like the Masters, Connor. I think that would be a great comparison to this course. But a little more overview of what's going on in golf right now. LIV tournament's going to be starting up here soon. I know there's been a thing with Monaghay there. The commissioner saying that he wasn't going to let people get released. So I don't know what's going on with that fiasco, but they're supposed to be starting on the Canadian Open, and that's our first national event, one of the greatest tournaments in golf, the Canadian Open. Here in Toronto. So I'll be going to that more likely than not here in about a month. Hopefully we don't lose some golfers to that tournament, to the LIV, but should be interesting there. No Phil, he's obviously not going to be here. PGA defending champion. Not too often you don't see the defending champ going to be at this defending his belt at a major, but Phil's not here. Tiger, though, is. There's some potential in Tiger. What do you think about Tiger here, Connor?
I think he's here. I mean, if he could make the cut, the Masters was one thing, because remember we talked about all the old timers. The field's really only 65. You know, if he just has a good couple days, you can make the cut at the Masters. This might be a little more difficult, and he won this a long time ago, 15 years ago. I mean, his swing looks great. I watched everything the last couple days, yesterday, all those videos. But you talked about that hilly golf course. If he can make the cut, you saw him on the fourth day of the Masters, starting to just wear down. It's not easy, you know, mentally and now physically because of his limitations. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get it done. I don't think he's anywhere, but.
And you know what's going to help him too, Connor, is the warm weather. Going over the weather really quickly, guys, at Southern Hills. It's going to be 90 Fahrenheit and then 84 on Friday. So warmer temperatures. I think humidity's up to even 98 on Thursday. So the warm weather's, I think, better for Tiger. Saturday, Sunday, guys, it's going down to 69 Fahrenheit, 70 Fahrenheit. About a heavy dip in the weather, so that's not going to be good for Tiger if he does make the cut. And then 72 on Sunday, so you're seeing a heavy weather dip there, and then you're going to see some winds as well there, Connor, around 15 to 20 miles per hour winds, which is even going to make these greens even tougher. You know, now this isn't your average Joe golf course. Really tough greens, guys. Slopey. They're going to be slanting like the Masters. Surrounded by bunkers. You're going to have 11 greens with at least 4 bunkers or more, Connor. So they're surrounded by bunkers. It's a parkland style golf course where approach is going to be really key. And if you don't have the approach, well, you're around the green, better be butter, because this golf course, buddy, it's not going to have your typical rough, how it slopes off the greens there. It's going to be the balls are going to pretty much run right off the edges. It's going to be short grass around these the green. So think of it like the Masters, guys. You're going to see a lot of balls just really, they could roll 25, 30 yards off the green if you get it on the wrong spot of it. So a real Masters comparison, I think, is going to be good here. Approach from distance too, guys. This course is 7,500 yards, 74, 50, 7,500 yards, par 72. This is just, they're really pushing the limit here. Usually you'd see a 72 when you see a course that long. It's going to be fast bent grass greens. Sorry, something you'd see more up in the northern spots here in America and Canada, but they have this maintained down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, bent grass greens. Like I said, sweeping right off, guys. You got to really worry about guys that don't have a good approach. They're going to have a strong around the greens. If they don't, they're not making the cut, in my opinion, Connor. Very strong golf course, tough complexes too from the greens. You're going to see different complexes on the greens. So, yeah, a little hole by hole too, buddy. There's only 2 par 5s. Guess how long they are? 650 yards. Can you believe that, guys? 650 yards. That's insane. So you're not going to, and especially Saturday, Sunday when that weather dips off, guys are not making this 1 and 2. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be playing, and you're also going to be seeing, 2 ponds on number 13, right around the green. So guys that do try to go for it in 2, you're really risking hitting these ponds, and everything, like I said, at this golf course is sloping right down pretty much to where you don't want to be. If it's ponds or a river, Connor, I'd almost miss this river. There's a river just like the Masters that runs right through this golf course. It's going to be going up the sides of the fairways, right across the fairways, right around the greens as well. So you're going to have to, as much as you want distance, you're going to have to be accurate, because you're going to, if not, you'll lose some strokes off the tee, right? Around the green, whatever it may be. This is a course that I'm going to say winning score would be below 10 under for sure. I'm going to say probably -7, -8, especially when you feel the wind there. It could even be lower. So you're going to want to see guys that can really grind out pars too. I think it's going to be important here, Connor. Grind out pars. Par 3s are playing, 226. Number 8 could be up to 250 yards, 173, then 230. So a long distance again. And then the par 4s, guys, we have, what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 par 4s, 490 yards on 18, 522. This is normally a par 5, Connor. Number 16, they're moving it to a par 4. So 522, guys, just hold on and try and get a par. That's one of the toughest holes you're probably going to see on the tour. Next hole, number 12's 461, 7, 443. Number 2, 481. Number 1's even 450 or more. So this is a real, it's going to be a test. Fairways are, for the most part, wide open. So off the tee it's important. You're going to have the creek on some holes, like 7 I'm looking at here, 6, especially on the back line, it's even more prevalent. So number 10's a big one there, Connor. It's right across the green there. So if you're going to try and go for this shorter one, it's about 400 yards, depending on where the tee is. There's a creek that runs about, I'd say, 110 yards just before the green. So, and then it runs along the left side of the fairway too. Really interesting hole. And then you got 4 bunkers that surround it, and everything just slopes right off. So pretty much you got those turtle greens too at this golf course.
Yes.
Right away, whenever I think of turtle greens, I think of Answer, but Answer, his approach has just been so off of late. So he's not going to be in the cut. I was wondering about the Mexican AI, as our guy Billy would like to say. You got anything there, buddy? I'd like to bring on our next guest for a little bit, unless
real quick. Let's touch on it real quick before we bring him on. The golf course will be tough, like you talked about. Probably be, like you mentioned, maybe that 7 to 10, maybe not even that high, the score. This has had 3 U.S. Opens here. I think this is a 4th or 5th PGA. I remember that 2001 U.S. Open, Retief Goosen won here, and the last time Tiger. But U.S. Amateurs, this is a tough golf course. They haven't been back here in a minute. You talked about all the hills, the turtle greens. It should be difficult, but we got the best players in the world here. Should be good. Let's get the guest on.
Let's do it. All right. Without further ado, if I believe he's all ready to go there, looks like Big Show's sent me the okay. So let's bring him on here, guys. Mikey P. Find him on Twitter there at MikeyP033. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening, fellas? Can you hear me all right?
What up? What up?
Yeah. Sounding good.
Using my kids' headphones, so I was hoping that they would work.
Sounding good, my guy. You ready for the PGA? Excited?
Oh, I'm excited, man. The last couple of weeks in golf, I haven't been too jazzed about the tournaments, with some of the match play and stuff like that. So glad to have a major come up that I can watch. So
yeah, you're right. We had a really kind of duds in between the Masters till now. It's been some real kind of shitty, RBC, the 25 under the last week match play. So it is good to have some golf, some real tests come back to the top here. Have you been out at all golfing there, Mikey? Are you much of a golfer?
Yeah, I play as much as I can. Probably went out last week or so. I did my average beer a hole. So
there you go. That's it, man. I nothing like
14. You're feeling
what's
it.
that? 14.
13,
Yeah,
14.
I try and cut it off around 15 there and get the Gatorades in me, just to kind of sober up as much as I can. But no, you gotta love it there, guys. Get as much as you can. Shout out to everyone in the chat too. We're gonna get right into this. So without further ado, Mikey, who are you looking at this PGA Championship this year, my guy?
Just to kind of follow up on what you were saying, I'm kind of, I start building my model now. Use Fantasy National. If anybody wants to check that out, it's pretty dope. You can do whatever you want with it. But I'm in agreement with you, man. I think this is a Masters Junior now here after the update. Right. They've pretty much taken away a lot of the trees and all of the rough from what I could tell watching some videos today. It's basically they want you, if you miss this shot by 5 feet, it's rolling 30, you know. So I kind of first look here at my model, building it out like it's the Masters a little bit. I'm going to probably have a few bombs in there that I like, but I'm going to go with the guy I don't normally bet, but I can't think I can leave him off the card, and I'm going to start off with Shane Lowry. So he's going to be my top pick probably.
I'm already on him. God,
there we go. That makes 3 of us. Look at that.
Laser.
Yeah, man, he's been playing great. Yeah. Really been playing lights out.
4 of us, boys.
4 of us. Oh, there you go. Our guy Big Show in there.
Damn, now I'm scared.
Producers on him too. So look, we got 4 of us. But Mikey, why are you so big on Lowry this week?
I mean, was he had 2 top 3s? I think passed at the RBC, and then he played excellent at the Masters. Like I said, man, I just kind of way I built the model there. It wasn't surprising that he was going to kind of pop up since he's been playing so well. But it's just I've been looking a lot at approach, and I think these guys are going to have to be real smart with how they get to the green this week. Like you said, there's a lot of those small creeks, I guess, like you'd kind of see in almost the St. Andrews type thing, where if you go 10 yards too far, you're going to roll into something like that.
That is a great comparison with the hills too at St. Andrews. You could get a kick here and just you could be in the creek for all you know. So and it's pretty wide open. Great comparison. I like that.
Yeah. It looks like they removed like I said, a ton of the trees. It's pretty wide open. The fairways are narrow and it's long. I mean, like you were saying, man, some of those par 4s are monsters. So
not even fair. Like the one was 522, number 16. Like that's just hold on to your, hold your breath and just try and get out of there with a par.
Yeah.
Even the par 5s, they're not giving you any 500-yard par 5s. They're going 650 and 632. So it's going to be a test for the Bombers. As much as you don't have to be long off the tee. I think it's an advantage just having those shorter irons. And especially the smaller the greens, right, fellas? Like the smaller the greens, you're going to really be tested. You do want a shorter iron with more control coming into that green, in my opinion. So I'm all over Lowry too. He checked off a lot of my boxes. Just pulling him up here. He was T3 at the RBC, T3 at the Masters, T12 at the Valspar, T13 at the Players, second at the Honda. The guy's been T20 in pretty much all of his events he's been in. Of late, so I got him at what number did you get him at there, Mikey? I meant to ask.
He's at 28-1 on DraftKings.
Wow, 28. I got him at right now at 40-1 at one of my books there. Shop around, guys, because I've seen it down to 28, 30, 33. But as of the show, 15 minutes before we went live here, he was still 40-1.
40 on Bovada too.
Yeah, 40 at Bovada there. So there you go, guys. Yeah. I think Shane Lowry, he checks a lot of my boxes too. Mikey said it, the Masters comparison. What else? What makes you like Lowry so much, Connor?
The way he's been playing. I think he already should have had, at least a win this year. He played great at the Masters. And I like how he's been kind of playing. Every couple of weeks he's been resting. He's not playing every week. I think he's a lot of people's pick. It's scaring the shit out of me now. But I think there's great value. Get that because I think this number just continues to drop by the end of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think his number just goes down and down and down.
Yeah, a lot of the other books, like I said, 30, 28, even like Mikey said. And one more thing, if there's going to be wind, I was talking about the wind, guys. There should be wind pretty much every day. And we all know Lowry being over there, Irishman, he should be able to play in this wind just fine, controlling his iron shots nice and low. His approach has just been absolutely unbelievable of late. So, Shane Lowry, I love it there, Mikey. Who else you got in your card?
Kind of followed up with the same vein. A huge fan of Hideki Matsuyama. He was on fire there the last round. But when his irons are on, he's a robot. And if anybody can stick it in closer and make a run like that, obviously, I hope they got all their birdies they wanted last week, because I don't think there's going to be as many here. But Hideki's very capable. Obviously, won the Masters 2 years ago. I won on him then, and he'll be my next play here. DraftKings has him at 35-1.
Oh, we're on Hideki. Are you on Hideki as well there, Big Show?
Yes, sir. My first 2 picks, Lowry and Hideki. Good shit, Mikey.
Look at that. You guys are reading each other's mail there or something. You guys, swear to God, guys, they didn't see each other's picks.
Nope.
He's not on my card there. Connor, did he make your card?
No, but I don't blame you guys for taking him. He looked really good. He won that Masters, and I thought he was going to fold. He didn't. He kind of hung on. I really like him. I just don't like his flat stick in the majors, but he's just playing really good golf, all year long. So I don't blame anyone for taking it, especially at that number.
What model do you use, Mikey?
I use Fantasy National.
Yeah, so that's why.
There you go. Similar outputs on Fantasy National. Great call there, Big Show. And also a T3 at the Byron Nelson last week the past week from Matsuyama. So I don't blame you at all for taking Matsuyama. I agree with Connor, though. Excuse me. His flat stick would be the only thing that could hurt him here. These are going to be really small, tight bent grass greens, a lot of slope. So, Tiger getting these practice rounds, it's really going to help him around the greens. It's funny how Tiger, he gets all these practice rounds, but the rest of them got to just sit there.
It looks like he's been playing it quite a bit this week.
Just a bit. It seems like every day he's out there. John Rahm's going to have something to say. I remember John Rahm saying the other time seems like JT gets all the advice and he doesn't. So, John Rahm's going to say something probably about Tiger getting these practice rounds. But I don't mind Matsuyama. He's had 2 wins this year. Sony Open at the Zozo as well, which was on bent grass at the Zozo. You like seeing that. But CJ Cup lost a lot of strokes on the putting surfaces. Shriners as well was on bent grass, lost strokes. So his putter would be the one thing I would say he would hold him back. Sorry there, guys. Hold this guy back. But other than that, I agree completely. Off the tee, his approach and his capability in these big events. He's been at the PGA T23, T22, T16, T35, T5. So he's made the cut in every one of these events. He seemed to do quite well. So I do like that one, Mikey. What's your third one, brother?
Still haven't locked this one in yet. It makes me a little bit nervous. I do like Willie Z. He's also, I believe, at 35-1 on DraftKings. Yeah, double check. He obviously has lost a ton of strokes putting the past few weeks, but he, for some reason, seems to putt well. And I know there's no shot tracker for the majors, but watched him enough. It seems like he putted very well on that kind of quicker undulating greens. So he's going to be a play for me there, probably at 35-1 as well.
I love, you know what? I'm right with you in the Zalatoris train there. The one thing, like Zalatoris, guys, his approach and off the tee it's been unbelievable. If you just look at what he's been doing, T6 at the American, second at the Farmers, T5 at the WGC, T6 at the Masters, T4 at the Zurich. Missed the cut missing the cut too. I don't know about you, Mikey, but I think that's great for this guy.
And I mean that was his. From what I looked up earlier, that was, I think, his 6th worst putting performance of his life.
Yeah,
but he doesn't do well at that course. He does not do well at the Byron Nelson.
It's funny too because he's from that area in Fort Worth, Texas, but he's just for
probably partying.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. Hey, boys, y'all coming down? Yeah, we're coming down. All right, we're all getting fucked up tonight. I'll only be out for a couple. You know what happens after a couple. So, yeah, you know what? I feel like if he just gets his putter down, gets a little comfortable on these greens, there's no reason why a guy like Zalatoris, who's very strong off the tee, his distance should be no worries here. Straight off the tee, too. I've seen it at the Masters. I think it was his first year. The guy hit every single green except for every fairway except for the 18th in the final round. So he can hit the greens in his approach. It's really strong, pin seeking, similar to like a Justin Thomas, Zalatoris with his approach. It's just his putters, his putting, and he was strong at the Masters. Like you say, we don't have the shot tracer stats, but I really do like Zalatoris here. If he gets that putter going, I could see him. His first win too, guys. I was talking to my buddy about this. I could see it being a major with Zalatoris. Like he's good enough where T5, T6 at the Masters. He was T8 too at this event last year. gain a shit ton of strokes on the approach and off the tee. So this is a gamer type of golfer, Zalatoris, itching to get his first win. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a major or something of those legs. So I'm all over Zalatoris too. I got him at 35 to 1 Zalatoris. Yeah, what do you think of Zally there, Connor?
He was on my borderline, but I don't think I'm going to use him in the end because I don't think his first win comes in a major.
Really?
But this kid, if he gets hot, though, I don't blame you guys for taking it. I might go with a top 20 on him, a top 10. I want a better number even than 35 to 1, to tell you the truth, just the way he's been playing. But when you can birdie like he can, he's always in it. I just don't think it comes this week. It's, if he does, congrats to him, man. First win being major.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what even at the Masters too, he was T6 and then second at the Masters, which is a perfect comparison. So a guy who's playing really good golf, like we say, comes down to his putter. And the two spots, only spot he's gained strokes this year putting was the Masters, where he was 1.48, which is a really good sign from him. So me and Mike are going to trust that 35 to 1. It looks like Big Show's rocking with Joachim Neiman here, 40 to 1. That's going to be his play in this range. So I don't mind that as well. Playing really good golf at this moment. You got any more plays there, Mikey? What else you got in your card?
Yeah, a guy I'm kind of nervous looking at, but he's been having a couple good rounds here is Keegan Bradley. Solid approach games. T2 at the Wells Fargo, T8 at Valero. I think his game is rounding into form. You never know what Keegan you're going to get from week to week, but seems like he's peaking at the right time here to be at least involved in the conversation for a major.
Yeah, no doubt. He was T17 last year at this event. T2 at the Wells Fargo. He's been really, really playing solid golf, as you said, and actually gaining some strokes on the putting surfaces. So if Keegan could get the putter down, he's from the Boston area, which would have been more bent grass style. So this is a surface you want to be betting him on, in my opinion. Strong off the tee, good approach. I don't mind Keegan Bradley at all. What numbers you got him at?
Keegan right now is at 65 to 1. 65
to 1. So there's a little more of a longer shot for you guys in the 65 to 1. I don't mind that at all. He's got a lot. I think, like you said earlier, you're going to need to be a guy with a little more experience, a little more. This isn't going to be I know I said Zalatoris could be a first-time winner, but I think you're going to need some pedigree when it comes to majors. If you're going to win this one, it's going to be a battle around the greens. You're going to have some mental wherewithal. Maybe Terrell Hatton, he's going to be tested. If I've ever seen Terrell Hatton be tested, probably at this event around the green. So I don't mind Keegan Bradley at all. Connor, what do you think of Keegan?
Yeah, I don't want him. He can't win in the end. Yeah, he just can't. But this is his one lone major, whatever it was 10 years ago, was the PGA. But he has been playing a lot better golf. His putter has been better. But if you can't win, I don't want you. By the way, Mikey, there is other places. Shop around. I see 100 to 1 on William Hill for Keegan Bradley.
Yeah, I just pulled him up earlier on DraftKings. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying to other people, if you can get 100 to 1, I think it may be worth throw a few bucks on for sure. 80 to 1. I see on Bet Online a few other spots at 80 to 1, 65 to 1 DraftKings.
125 to 1 on Bovada.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, guys.
That's the number.
Yeah, if you can shop around Keegan Bradley at that number, I think that could be a strong play. His strong distance off the tee approach. You're going to need guys that are tee to green. You say that every week, but at a course like this, it's going to be very prevalent. But this is just like the Masters, guys. It's going to be a second shot golf course, 100%. Because if your second shot's not good, that shit's going to cost you, I swear, 2 or 3 strokes. Like it can be really bad. If it's going to go in the creeks, if it's going to go in the bunkers, if you're going to short side yourself on a shot, it can get very ugly. So a second shot's going to be really huge, and Keegan does have that. So I like that one.
He does.
Yeah. What else you got there, Mikey? Any more plays to close it out, or what do you got?
Yeah, I got a few bombs. Guy I'm sure people are going to be pretty heavy on as far as if you're playing daily fantasy, but I've been on this kid since he started, and I want to be right, and I don't want to miss him, is Cam Young. I'm not sure what his Bovada odds are. He's 80 to 1 on DraftKings. The dude's a workhorse. Came out firing in the Masters, but kind of lost it. Again, with that course, it's the familiarity. Like, you have nobody there showing you anything. So I think it was a good round for him. I think he can play well on this type of surface. And the kid's a stud in my book. So I will take Cam Young, and the two further long shots. I'll probably play a couple more sprinkled in first round leaders and stuff. I like my boy Harold Varner the third. He's sitting at 110 to 1, and then love me some HV3. He had a win overseas, and he's been playing well. Just couldn't stay in it the last couple weeks. And then my longest bomb on the board for me is going to be Mr. Gooch at 150 to 1. He's from the area, loves this course. He says it's his favorite golf course. He's stoked to be playing here. I'll dabble a little bit at 150.
Oh God! The one time I don't have the Gooch, man, he's gonna get me. I just know it. Great inside stat, though. I did not know he's actually from that area.
He's gonna get you right in the Gooch.
Yep.
So he could, from Homa to Gooch, both of them. Hopefully, I'm not on the wrong side here. But looking at Varner, you're talking about Varner. He's T23 at the Masters, PGA. He's T49, T29. T36. He's a guy that can linger. Maybe a top 20 on Varner even. He seems like a gamer kind of golfer. I don't mind that Varner at all. And looking at Cameron Young really strong off the tee. He was T3 at the RBC, T2 at the Wells Fargo. So this guy's just missed out on a win playing good golf. Going to come down to, I think, like you said, familiarity on the greens for Cameron Young. And how he does, because if he gets comfortable, similar to Zalatoris, this guy could be right there. So I like that one, Mikey. What do you got? Anything else there, brother? Any matchup bets, or what do you got there? Anything else, brother?
I haven't gone through all the matchups yet. Probably, like I said, the only other guy I was kind of looking at, maybe if you guys had any thoughts on Alex Noren. He was kind of popping for me a little bit, but
love Noren. I love me some Noren there, buddy. He was a late addition. I was going to do a 5-pack. He's actually going to be the last one on my 6-pack, 150 to 1 at your local Bovada there, guys. Shop around. Just a really strong golfer. I have a lot of my stats, par 4 scoring, par 3 scoring. A guy that checks a lot of the boxes, should keep it straight off the tee. Deals with the wind well. Hits for the most part, a lower ball flight. Funny swing, funny routine he's got to his golf swing. But I really do like that Noren play. He's going to be in my top bets for top 20, I believe, top 40.
Excellent.
Even first round leader. Yeah, you picked one out there, Mikey, out of the beer cans. Alex Noren was on it. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, no, absolutely, that's great. So yeah, Mikey P, guys, he's gonna tweet out his action on Twitter. There, it's at Mikey P 033 on Twitter, guys. Follow him. He's got all of his golf picks coming out weekly. I've been following him for a long time. He's damn hot with his 5 picks, probably better than myself of late. Mikey P with his horse racing as well. Shout out to Mikey P. I've been watching the horse racing channels.
Yeah, man, we need to have you back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get back on Fridays there. I just fucking running around trying to get at golf as much as I can. But shout out to you guys on that show. If you guys haven't already checked it out, Fridays, Mikey P and Razor Sharp Picks and a bunch of other great horse cappers do about 4 or 5 hour live stream on horses for the night. So check that out. Mikey P, thank you so much for jumping on, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Next time for the US Open there. I'll give
All
you
right,
a
Mike.
shout. My guy.
Yes, sir.
Take care, Mikey.
See you
later, brother.
All righty, guys. Mikey P there. Check the private chat here. We'll just see our next guest here coming up will be one of our heavy hitters as well, just like Mikey P from last week. Dubsy, Mr. Dubsy Anderson's looking to jump. There he is, Mr. Dubsy. Without further ado, what's going on, Dubsy?
What up, boys? Major Championship week. The PGA Championship. Does it get any better than this, boys? 4 times a year on a challenging, super tough golf course. I'm sick of seeing these birdie shootouts. KH Lee, fair play to you, sir, but 25 under, that's not golf, boys. That's when we get together, get a couple of brouhahas, and we go to top golf. Pitch and putt.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to see. I want to see this week the boys squirm. I want to see them get beat up there at Southern Hills Country Club. And that's what I'm expecting, boys. It ain't easy playing in that breezy Tulsa, Oklahoma. Big names rising to the top. The cream is rising. How are we, gentlemen? Bring it on. I cannot wait.
Cheers to you, Dubsy. What an intro.
Good,
Bringing
brother.
the heat as always. Dubsy Anderson, guys. Mr. Dubsy on Twitter there. Yeah, buddy, I can't wait for this one. Are you going to be at this event by any chance, Dubsy? I wanted to slip that in.
I'm not, mate. Looking at maybe getting out to the US Open, but that's if I'm upset or if I'm happy. If I get a nice event this week, maybe I'll feel a bit more inclined to get out there.
Right.
If I was there yesterday at the 25 under par, 26 under par job from KH Lee, I'm throwing my ticket away. I'm asking for money back. I want to see something. I want to see a congested leaderboard, and I think we're going to get it this week, boys. I think we're going to have 10 or 12 guys right in the mix there on Sunday. And there's a lot of big names who have been failing at the majors who need to step it up. I mean, Cantlay, Xander Schauffele, Cammy Smith, my Aussie countryman, can he get it back? You know, the bounce back factor. We saw what he did at the Masters.
He checks so many of my boxes there, Cam Smith. You know, like doesn't the around the green remind you of the Masters there, Dubsy? Everything around the green reminds me of the Masters.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, you'll hear everyone this week. It's a super long golf course, par 70, only 2 par 5s. Scoring options are limited. So for me, you know, all these guys give it a rip. Maybe I'm putting a line through the small ball warriors. You know, Kevin Kisner's, Kevin Nas, anyone who's named Kevin in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you can scrap them out this week.
Kevin Tway.
I think iron play is going to be key. You've got smaller greens this week, but more importantly, short game. It's going to be a grind. You need imagination. It's very tight around the greens here. You've got to clip it. You've got to have a lot of confidence. And again, in the majors, boys, I love the intangibles. Who's got that grind, that imagination? I heard Shane Lowry thrown out there earlier. I think he's an absolute solid value play this week. I love Cameron Smith. And for Cameron Smith, he's just got to get smarter. And where does that come from? It comes from experience. He learned from that at the Masters. I mean, he skated a very thin line there at the Players' Championship as well, but he was lucky enough to get the win. So I love my Aussie countrymen. The last 6 winners, boys, have all been American. I like the internationals this week. Cameron Smith, number 1 for me. And there's decent value there as well. Listed at 19, 20 to 1. Depends which book you're looking at.
Yeah, Cameron Smith, you know, I completely agree. The only thing I guess I'll be devil's advocate with you here, Dubsy, would be if he's spraying it off the tee and if he does find those creeks, like if he's, you know, because if you're
in trouble.
Yeah,
Could
like
trouble. Yeah.
Because it's very slopey, right? So if he does take the bounce, the next thing you know, his short game's great. It's just if it's off the tee, if he just doesn't maybe try and overpower the ball, just kind of, you know, worry about getting on the green because he's like you say, 3 times better than half these guys on the tour. Yeah. So T3 at the Masters when he was there last year, PGA Championship T59 the year before, T10 at the Masters the year before that. He reminds me of Zalatoris in a way that's just it's a different style though, Dubsy, because like they're both itching. They're both right there. It's just going to come down to, for Zalatoris, it's going to come down to his putter.
Mate, I absolutely love Willie Z, but I mean, I've gone into town, gone into bat for him the last 12 months here. And I'll ask the question, I mean, at a certain point, you start to build up that scar tissue. I mean, last week was a perfect event for Willie Z. He couldn't even make it through the weekend. Sam Burns, same for you, sir. I'm not happy with Sam Burns either.
Ooh, me too.
Goat, Sam Burns.
And I thought they were fantastic for last week. But for Willie Z, I mean, if he can't get the breakthrough win on the regular PGA Tour, stepping it up here at the majors, I have concerns, especially, around the greens is all right. But the putter, I mean, he can't even get it back straight. It looks to improved a lot. But again, I mean, you put the magnifying glass there late on the Sunday. If he's in the last couple of groups, watch out for Willie Z. But maybe that's a guy I'm looking at in the live market. If we do get a condensed leaderboard where the winning mark is, say, 5-6 under par, I absolutely love Willie Z. I mean, he's got the pop off the tee. He's one of the best iron players in the business.
Yeah.
So you can't sleep on Willie Z. I do love rooting for him. He's just let me down a couple too many times, boys.
Definitely. I completely agree there. The one too. Like me with Zalatoris is I think his approach game there, Dubsy, he's going to be sticking him so damn tight to the pins, or he's going to avoid him. He's going to have to some of these slopes. He's a guy that seems like he's like, look what he's done at the Masters at these tough courses where you got to be really smart.
The tougher the better.
Second, the tougher the better. And some guys disagree with me, but I think his first win could be a major. It's going to be a big one. I think Zalatoris.
You'd love to say it.
I know I could be on an island saying that. I just think out of the golf course like this, when the greens are super small and you're going to have to be really precise, he's got distance off the tee, so he's not going to have maybe a 5-6 iron in his hands, maybe the 7-8. So I think I'm going to rely if his approach is off. We know Zalatoris is in trouble, but Zalatoris. What else? Do you got anything else there, Dubsy? Sorry, I'm taking you over here. What else you got there?
Nah, boys, we're chopping it up. PGA Championship. This is as good as it gets. Love looking at the top of the board here.
If I wasn't working, I'd have a beer. Fuck.
I see, Dubsy, you're hot too. Homa, I saw you running hot there lately.
I wasn't going to bring it up. Boys. Just go and brush that off the shoulder there.
I'll bring it up. Yeah.
But look, I think the cream's going to rise to the top. From the top of the board, I like Rory McIlroy. I think he's found something at the Masters. He looked good at the Wells Fargo, but again, I don't see him winning the birdie shootout, but I do see him being in a bit of a grind. For Rory, it's all up top. If he's not the front runner in this one, if he can just stay 2 or 3 shots back, who knows what can happen Sunday. He's at his best, and it's the same as Cameron Smith when you've got to work the ball, both ways. That keeps him locked in on the golf course. For Rory McIlroy, when it's straight up and back, he loses it. He starts thinking about the golf swing, and he's an absolute mess. So interested to see what Rory brings there. I think Justin Thomas, I mean, another guy who's, continued to disappoint me, but this is a golf course that suits him. Great iron play, good short game. He's playing angry at the moment. You can see it out there on the golf course. He's had a bit of form there, what we saw last weekend, but again, he just needs 4 days of solid golf. And this is a week where, bogey is going to be your friend. There's going to be some good bogeys made out there. I think guys will be making doubles and triples. And a lot of these guys, the upstarts who are recent to the PGA Tour, maybe they lack that experience. But if Bones and JT can figure out a way to make the bogeys and just stay cool, don't get too angry, JT could be there right in the mix on Sunday. And another guy I'm going to throw at you, Paddy Ice, Paddy Terminator. Listen,
there we go.
The one. He's done everything but win at the majors. But you look at the golf course this week, it's going to test every department. He's got it. What is he? 17th in strokes gain off the tee, 17th strokes gain on approach, Ryder Cup dominance, Tour Championship. He's done it all except stand up at the majors. You don't think he's telling himself that, looking in the mirror saying the Zurich Classic was Xander Schauffele. That doesn't count. Paddy Ice, this one counts. Major championship. That is the currency for guys like Paddy Cantlay. And I think it's only a matter of time. What about now? Get it done for me, son.
I love that. I
have him circled for sure. And I'm not a big Cantlay guy. I like him this week.
Nor am I.
Yeah, I like Cantlay. I don't know. I think this is his time, like you talked about, Dubs. He's been so close, and he's done everything else. I mean, he's just knocking at the door. He's the right age to break through and win a major. And I think this is a perfect course. He's long enough, and once he gets that flat stick going, I think he's money. I like the play. I like it.
Yeah. And I think it suits him. Like, this is going to be a real dogfight. You've got to, get off to a decent start. Where at the Masters, we saw the guys run away with it. I mean, Scotty Scheffler made it look ridiculous. I don't think we're going to see that this week, which is going to help guys, like Paddy Ice, like Roy's, like Cameron Smith, who are just trying to get into the grind. And then over the weekend, we know Cantlay's made of the right stuff. So I think that's a good play. If you're looking for a bit more value, statistically, Keegan Bradley 65-1 should be there or thereabouts. I love Max Homer's golf game 50-1, and this is a guy who knows how to get it done. Now, 4-time winner on the PGA Tour. I just question, has he been, enjoying life a little too much after that recent win? And another guy I throw at you. I was big on Shane Lowry. I'm big on the angry Englishman, Tyrrell Hatton. Great putter, great iron play. He's got that mental toughness. We want to see a bit of emotion, and he can snap a couple of clubs this week. That's fine, Tyrrell. Just get back in the race, mate. Yeah. You need that IQ. He's got it. I like Tyrrell Hatton. Great value there, 75-1.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. They're going back to Cantlay. I think his game's going to be perfect for this. He's, like you said, you're going to need a grinder type of mentality. You really are. Rory McIlroy, JT, all the guys you're saying, because you're going to be some holes you're going to bogey, or it's going to look pretty grim at sometimes. But JT, it's going to come down to his putter. Just watching his putting there a little bit lately, there, Dubsy. Just the camera angles. He still looks a little you see some guys, when you're rolling a putt in, with confidence, right? When you're rolling them in, he's kind of dribbling them, and then he's dribbling them. He's kind of,
cautious.
It doesn't look kind of as comfortable as some of these other guys, like a Cameron Smith, who's just looks like he's just drained. Like he rolls them in with confidence. Beast mode. So, I don't mind that at all. Cantlay's definitely going to be on my card. He's starting off the lowest spot, I guess you could say, 24-1 there, Dubsy. I absolutely love that one there. What do you think of some longer shots here? Also, Sung J M, guys, he's not making it. He's tested positive for the COVID in Korea. So
very disappointing. I was big on Sung J a couple of weeks ago on the futures market. I mean, great driver of the golf ball. The short game last year was terrible. He's fixed it up this year. So very disappointing for Sung J. I'm probably not big on guys like Bryson if he does peg it up, playing injured despite it's a long golf course. Don't like what I've seen there. Brooksy Koepka, who knows why he withdrew last week, but again, no confidence in back and Brooks. He's made a bad habit of just thinking his B-grade stuff can win it. That's not the case anymore. Brooks Koepka, we got to see more out of him, especially on the PGA Tour. Maybe his former Bash brother, Dustin Johnson. Now he's married to the great Paulina Gretzky. Maybe that's the career highlight, right? For the 24-time winner on the PGA Tour. DJ doesn't have to worry about too anymore. Yeah. Good driver at the golf ball. With DJ, it's all motivation. Right. You gotta hope it's there for him this week. And if he gets off to a good start, he's gonna be there in the mix. But if he doesn't, DJ, he's more interested in going fishing, having a couple of brews with the boys, but all the talent in the world. Love to see DJ in the mix for this one.
I've never seen a golfer so relaxed on the golf course. Like literally walks around like he's like, I don't know, walking down the street just like like he's just so, but like his golf game is just, it's unbelievable when it's on. I really like that there, Dubs. I like all the plays. One guy I want to throw to you as well. I know you're talking about Hatton. You're right. I like his grinder mentality. You're going to really want it. And, Hatton's got that. What do you think of, I know we've had this guy a lot, Fitzpatrick here. What do you think of old Matthew Fitzpatrick? He hasn't won a major at all. It's just, he's got the game. Is he going to put it together?
He's got all the game in the world. And again, he hasn't won here on the PGA Tour, but I mean, so much talent. I'd put him right in there with, Will Zalatoris, but he's won, some very tough events in Europe. And again, this is not, typical bomb and gouge this week. It's not going to be like, a European event, but you need that grind. You need to have different shots, especially around the greens. Yeah. Matty Fitzpatrick, one of the best in the business. You can still get a great number on him. Again, if he gets in the mix over the weekend, I don't think he's a guy that's going to go up in flames. He really enjoys being in the thick of it. I love his golf game. Matty Fitzpatrick, it's been a while coming. It certainly has. So, he's got the pedigree in the game to win this one for sure.
Yeah, I like that. And did you hear about the weather too, Dubsy? They're calling for some pretty heavier winds there. I think up to 20 miles an hour and a heavy dip on Saturday, like down to 70 Fahrenheit. So
we like that, boys. I want to see these guys busting 80s and triples and quads. Make us look like us. That's what we want to see.
You know what I want, Dubsy? I want some odds on Terrell Hatton snapping a club. I really do. I give me some odds. Come on, FanDuel, throw out some odds on Terrell to snap a club because it could very well happen on the weekend with these weather conditions and the green. So
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I like it there. Do we have Cam? Is Cam there available there? Big Show, is he in there? Or?
He's not here yet. No,
not here yet. Okay, so I'm gonna message Cam here just to see if everything's going good with Cam. I know we're gonna bring him on. But do you got any more picks there, Dubsy, or do you want to go over your action there?
Look, mate, I'll throw a couple of top 40s at you, guys who I think are going to have a great finish, well suited to the golf course. Maybe they can't, get it done on Sunday. I like Corey Connors. I mean, this guy continues to impress me. Are you sure he's Canadian, not Australian, boys? Can we claim Corey Connors? I absolutely love this guy. Minus 120 for a top 40. Keegan Bradley again, minus 115 for a top 40. I'd love to see him get the win, but again, at the Wells Fargo, he had every chance to make something of himself. Couldn't get it done. Again, the putting's a little spotty. And then what about Louis Oosthuizen, boys? You've got him at plus money here for a top 40. He embarrassed himself at the Masters. Sure, he had a little injury, but this is a guy last year was contending in all the big events, the tougher the golf course, it suits him. He's not the longest off the tee, but again, if you can put it on the short stuff, you can spin the ball, flight the ball. Can Louis be a factor? I certainly see him being inside that top 40. Plus 115, Louis Oosthuizen. Can he come back and get a bit of respect from us, lads?
What do you think, Connor? I'm not too sure. Is he going to LIV tour? Like, that's what I've heard there, Dubsy. He's going off to the LIV, but now with what's going on and you can't go over, Monaghy's saying, like, I don't know what's going on.
The plus 40 tour, boys. Isn't that a hoot? Oh, can you blame them? Look at the money they're playing for. $25 million a pop for these guys chasing the bag. I absolutely get it. Sergio Garcia. I mean, one of the best drivers in the business. Can he have a run this week? No. I mean, having an absolute tantrum out there. I can't wait to leave this tour. Why are you still pegging it up, mate? Are you short a couple of bucks? I mean, the PGA Tour stuffed his pockets full, but it's not good enough for old mate Sergio. This is a guy who threw his golf shoes off into the gallery having a tantrum. 2 minutes later, he's asking the fans, hey, can I please have my golf shoes back? I've got to finish.
Oh, no. Oh,
that tells you about up top. Bro, Sergio Garcia.
Pull out the wallet, Garcia. He's back. Jesus Christ.
Absolute madness.
I know he was having some technical difficulties. So the fact we have Cam Stewart on is an absolute just godsend right now. So Cam Stewart, you are the absolute man for joining us right now, Cammy.
You're killing me, Gogster. Like, these guys control me, and Sports Grid controls my computer. Every time you get me on, I'm going to this stream. I'm like, I'm on this. I got to hook up my soundboard, this, that. Is it working? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine there. We got you live and clear there.
It says it's going through the MacBook speakers. Hey, Dubsy, looking great as always. Didn't have a piece of KH Lee. That's a problem. My girlfriend did. My girlfriend's a better than me now. She's like, yeah. And my buddy Billy the doorman, he's like, every tournament I take 3 Asians. I'm like, I always take the wrong ones. I'll take Sun Jae-im. I'll take Hideki. They'll fall short. That's the whole problem. Just can't get it done, guys. But hey, I can't wait for the PGA Championship. It's going to be fantastic. Dubsy, big ball hitters. It's going to play long and hard in Tulsa. We know the winds can pick up there, guys. And the first thing I did was look for like a bomb Gogster that basically that I'm not sure anybody had. And I got on Cam Young at 110 to 1, and he's been bet down to 80 to 1. Like, I just love his game. I'm actually shocked. Like, this guy's been in contention. He hits the ball long. If he gets it going, like, that's my, like, that, like, he's been bet. I put $50 on him at 110 to 1. I was looking at another couple bombs. I don't know. Billy Horschel might be able to get it done. Not sure about the length, but Cam Young for me is the bomb that I really, really like, and I've already put money on him. I think I if you get his price at 100 or more, I think you got to hit it.
I don't mind Cam Young at all. Was it you there, Dubsy, on Cam Young, or?
It wasn't, but I love the pick. I mean, this guy is as hot as it comes, and he's got all the form we've seen. Cam Young, he's got the full diesel off the tee. I think that's a great pick, and that's a huge number. That's a guy who's not afraid to step up and get the breakthrough win. I like that pick, Cam.
Thank you, Dubsy. Thank you. I don't know what to do with the chalk. Justin Thomas was close last week. I know a lot of people liked him. I want a little bit more than 16, but this just seems like a track that he could absolutely get it around very easily. It's all about the putter. You know, you can look at Rory. He smashes it off the tee. How's his wedge game going to play? What's his proximity to the hole with the wedge game? That's always a question with him, fellas. But for me, a couple of bets have been made. Thomas, I kind of like his chalk. I know a lot of people like Hideki. That was a great performance last week. Not sure if he could do it again at this track, but those are guys that I don't know. I hope no one bets Cam Young there, Dubsy, guys, because I just think he's fallen right under the radar, and I don't want too many people to knock down his price.
I don't mind. Yeah, Cam Young, our guy Mikey P, he had Cam Young as well. He thought he could have a shot here. He's been T3, second place as well to the Wells Fargo RBC Heritage, so he's been playing solid golf of late there, Cam. One guy that we haven't brought up, and that's on my six-pack there, Cam. Patrick Cantlay was the first one. I agreed with Dubsy. I think Cantlay, his mindset, his control with the irons, I think he should be fine here, gamer's mentality. But Victor Hovland, guys, Victor Hovland's going to be on my card. His around the green, everyone said, he can't chip, he can't do this and that. Well, the guy can bomb it off the tee. He's accurate, and he's got one of the strongest approach games I've seen. And he grew up in Oklahoma. Golfed at Oklahoma State, which is right next door. So I think Victor Hovland, I got him at 28-1 there, guys. I think that's a good number on a guy where he should be where, like Morikawa in the 18-20-1. So I think Victor Hovland, it kept going up. It was 24, now 28. Hovland, he's got the gamer mindset too. Even if he gets a couple bogeys, he can bounce back. So Victor Hovland, I really like him. I like that no one likes him too. It's kind of like no one's talking about him.
That's the thing. He's a winner. Narratives, right, Dubsy? Like, it's all like Hovland can still play. Yeah, his bunker play needs a little bit of work around the green, but when you look at his game, he always seems to have one bad hole too. What about another Oklahoma State guy? Had him last week, top 20, almost got it done. Alex Noren. I don't know, like, he's a guy that I think is kind of, I'm not sure if he can win, but for top 20 bets, like, he's another Oklahoma State Cowboy there. He played well last week. If not for one bad round, he could have been there. Like, on the final round, he shot well. Not as good as Xander Schauffele, but he was right there, and he picked up money for the top 20. I don't know. What do you guys feel about Schauffele? It was a nice ending to his tournament, but he never does it for 4 rounds.
I know, or he does it in the Zurich Classic in the teams event. I mean, has he got that killer mindset? I mean, he plays it very similar to his good mate Cantlay. No real weakness. Statistically, he should be there on the tougher golf courses. But I think on a stage like this, I don't know. I think you want a bit of that sort of that dog instinct. For me, Xander Schauffele, I don't think he's got it. But again, tough golf course, he really should. But I think Paddy Cantlay is finally going to step up and show his best buddy how to get it done. Cam, I love that other pick you threw out, Billy Horschel. I mean, I always think about Billy Horschel. There's no way he's going to finish his career without a major win. I mean, he's just got that mental toughness, the short game, and he's going to get in the mix here at one of these events. And he rolls up the sleeves. He wants to get down and dirty and get that smoke. Stranger things that happen. That Billy Horschel pick. He's going to get one eventually, so why not now?
Wow. I'm just looking at the flag, Gogster, and you're one of my favorite guys. I just see the Ottawa Senators flag. I'm seeing red Nick Paul destroying the Maple Leafs.
Oh, yeah. I watched his
every home team wins except for the Leafs. Right?
I watched his first ever game here in Belleville. We got the Belleville Senators, so I watched Nick Paul for 3 years, just here in Belleville, and now to see him get my Toronto Maple Leafs, it's hilarious. It's hard to see.
A minute away from my home in Mississauga too. He went to the school down the street from my parents. I'm like, that's great. A guy from Mississauga, my hometown, screwing over Mississauga in the Leafs. Gotta love it. Fantastic. And then Cece scores the fucking winning goal for Edmonton.
Yeah. Honestly, Christ.
Way to go, Leafs.
Yeah,
we can do it. Right, Dustin?
The NHL boys, the Stanley Cup playoffs, those boys think they're tough, but it's a certain level of toughness this week at the PGA Championship, right? It's one thing when you're throwing elbows, but you got to go against the golf course this week and the likes of Big Scotty Scheffler. It ain't easy.
There's no boards, but they got to have the mental games to get out of a bunker that they're going to be looking above and they can't even see it. And speaking of that, guys, some Scottish-style bunkers. They're going to be deep bunkers here, too. So One of our guys was saying the Open Championship. It's kind of in a way a little bit of vibes of the Open too for St. Andrews. It's got a lot of hills. It's pretty flat, but it's got a lot of southern hills. Angela, the greens are a lot bigger at the Open, but it's going to be a tough test. I think I brought up Matthew Fitzpatrick. I think he's got a gamer's mentality as well. He's not in my 6-pack, but I think a top 20. I think he's going to be there. Will Zalatoris, oxygen and energy drinks. He gets that flat stick going.
I'm with you. I like Zalatoris this week. I think basically that's golf now. It's like everybody was on Zalatoris and Burns, and we got burned. Like we got absolutely smoked. Like let's call it out for what it is. We're truthful on the show. Everybody liked them to win. These guys don't make the cut. We got screwed in matchup bets. But I'll tell you, Zalatoris, I think this is the type of course he can bomb it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, it's the putter. It's always the putter with Willie. But the price you're getting on Zalatoris, I think is fair. I agree with you guys on Cantlay. We can't bet everybody, though, right? Like, I don't know if I can bet Thomas, Cantlay. Zalatoris will probably make my card, though, Gogi. I'll tell you, Gogster, because he's just that good. In my opinion, this length will not be a problem. Length will not be a problem in Southern Hills. We always have a bomber at the PGA Championship, too. Some guy that comes out of the clouds. But I'm not sure on this course we can have too many guys that are like I have my Cam Youngs and my Horschels. Other than that, I'm looking at the list going, who can really win this golf tournament when push comes to shove, right?
Exactly.
I want to make these bombs, but more top 30s and 40s. I got a feeling it's going to be a guy like Thomas, Cantlay, maybe Zalatoris. You guys got like Hovland. One of those, like a stud, is probably going to win this tournament.
What about real quick, guys? What about the guy who needs this the most? Real quick, is Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth.
We haven't touched on yet. This to close it out. For the career Grand Slam, he's 18-1, but I wouldn't go lower than that. I see on DraftKings because I see other places he's already down to 12-1. But what do you guys think of Spieth this week?
I think he's found something, boys, and when he's playing with confidence, that's a dangerous man on a golf course where you need the short game, the imagination. He's one of the best in the business, so I can't say Jordan Spieth is not going to be a factor. I like what I'm saying. He is the ultimate gamer. He's always shown up with his best stuff. He wants to win this one more than anyone, especially for the career slam. That'd be special stuff.
His short game's so good.
It
just seems like he's
right. Like he's always yelling at himself. I'm like, it's still in the fairway, Jordan.
Michael, he's always talking to the caddy.
Michael, what was that? Over when I was golfing with my buddy in Weston, I almost like murdered him. I'm so bad. Like I didn't want to go. Like I want to go golfing with you and Gogster, but I shoot like over 100 and embarrass myself out there. When I was young, I could play. Like when I worked at Credit Valley Golf and Country Club, they had the CPG there where Stricker beat Weir, but. That's the thing about golf. I'm working all the time for Sports Grid. I don't have the time. You know what I mean? But I'd like to go, like, dream of mine to, eventually win the lottery, retire, and play golf every day and get drunk.
Exactly. Now I don't want to call it. That's why I just was golfing 3 times this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then shot 78 on Sunday. So I finally coming into some form. What I was feeling was I was just thinking, like, I was making putts. Like I hit 12. I had 12 birdie putts. I didn't make as many birdie putts as I should have, but. Like Zalatoris, if his approach is really, like I was sticking him really close. Like if he's got these approach close, I'm thinking you just make a couple putts, it starts flowing. And I think at a course like this, like his approach is going to be so much better. Where these other guys, it's going to slope off. Like if you're not where the pin, like if you're not precise on the level or the proximity to the hole, you're going to be sloped off, and you're going to be looking at a scramble par. So I think Zalatoris's approach is just going to be that good, where he just gets that flat stick going. I think he could very much be there. So. Yeah, little insight, I guess, a little golfer's knowledge there for you guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good no-go. I mean, on the flat greens, that's where Willie Z struggles. From 8 foot, he's dynamite. 2 foot, straight in. He starts thinking about the stroke. But this week, where there's a lot of slope around these greens, complexes, that's going to get him out of his head. He's just looking at the line, not so much the stroke. So maybe this is a great week for Willie Z to just get out of his own way. I mean, that's a big 150 pounds he's got to get out of the way from. So it'd be good to see.
I can't blame him. I'm about 151 myself, so
Still, it really seems to be skin and bones. But last time I looked, guys, he's
put on some
on the bone. Like I'm not sure. Like you know what I mean?
He's hitting it 312 average, so he still bombs him off the tee, right? Even Neiman, look at Neiman. He's no bigger than him. He still bombs
it. Thomas is about the same as like Thomas is a string bean, and he murders the ball too. Like he's got toe pad on him.
It's all boys. Can I throw a couple at you guys? I want to get your thoughts. Now, the stats don't say these two should be a factor, but I'm just drawing on the sentimental strings here. 2 guys, I wouldn't be shocked if they just find something. Jason Day, Ricky Fowler. Can any one of them be a factor and make it into the business? What if the cuts say 4-5 over par? Do you think either one of them has it in them? They showed signs there at the Wells Fargo. No, you're not getting on board? Just donating dollars there?
I can't.
I'm not. I'm looking at Day here. He's looking a lot better.
I agree.
Jason Day. I don't know if I can get there with Ricky. I think when it goes bad for Ricky, it goes real bad. So Jason Day, though, I would maybe give him a bit of a shot there, Dubsy. Around the green, he's got a real strong around the green game too. But there, I can't throw my hard-earned.
That's the thing. Like, we got smoked last week, Dubsy. I can't contribute to the Ricky Fowler Farmers Insurance Fund.
I can absolutely.
Who's the other guy? Matt Wolf. He's my brother. What's that commercial? You know, with Dustin Johnson.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Bet on Ricky Fowler's dad. He looks like a
Matt Wolf. Matt Wolf, the ultimate round one low score warrior, and then just backs it up with like an 85.
One guy I want to bring up here. Everyone's had him here, Cam. Everyone's had him. He's no 150-pound guy either. He's Shane Lowry, the Irish Bear. What do you think of Shane Lowry?
I always like the Irish Bear. The thing about him is he's just got the mindset. You guys said if there's deep bunkers and stuff, if there's any type of golf that looks like European golf, I love Shane Lowry. Probably the guy you'd want to go for a beer with, the guy you'd want to party with. And when it comes to big events, he's fun. Like, he's great for the game too. The thing about him is, he's high-fiving after. He doesn't take it too seriously. Some of those guys, I get it. Golf's a very serious game, but Shane Lowry, he knows when to get serious. He knows when to have fun. I'm not sure if he's going to win, but I think he'd probably be. He's a page 2, page 3 leaderboard guy for me. I'll look at some matchups with him. I'm not sure. That's the thing, Gogster. I can't bet on everybody, right? Like, the Leafs basically put me in the poorhouse. Thank God for the plane last night. That's what happens when you bet on your team. And I guess I deserved it. Should have known. History repeats itself. But yeah, we need a big week here.
Trifecta's got me out of the abyss last night. So thanks for the old horse race.
I bet on the Mavericks too. I didn't expect them winning by like half a century.
That was. Hey, do you guys get any more longer shots here? I'm going to go into some longer bombs. We brought up Alex Noren. I think he's got a great shot here. He checks some boxes. I think he could do very well. But one guy we haven't brought up there was Mr. Kokrak.
Good call.
Big Jace.
Yeah, Jace bombs him off the tee. When he's on, he's on. He putts really well on bent grass. He's won it at that tournament in Vegas that was on bent grass. I just know for the past he does very well on this type of surface. Around the green's not that bad. I got him at 114 to 1 at one of the on Jason Kokrak.
He's quietly played well this year.
I agree. Yeah, he's coming around. Kokrak than a lot of guys there. When you guys Kokrak could be about 60. The way he plays, he should be 60. If you're getting anything more than that, I think that's phenomenal. He's a winner.
Yeah.
And the thing about Kokrak, too, is when he's in contention, he doesn't back down like some of these guys. He's kind of his own man. I'm playing poker. I'm doing this. Screw you. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the superstar status. He does his thing, and he goes about things like he's kind of like a lone wolf out there. And I like that.
Exactly. He was T14 at the Masters this past year, so he's playing good. He's playing good golf. Sneaky.
Kokrak, our favorite drug. He has to be the best.
That's right, Ken. You bring the beers. I'll bring the Kokrak. We're not on the card there, but
I'll take one of each there, boys.
Yeah, take one of those too. There you go. So we got Kokrak on the card here, Jason. He's at 114, and then I got last one on the can, Alex Noren, 150 to 1. Also, first-round leaders, all 6 of those guys: Cantley, Hovland, Zalatoris, Lowry, Kokrak, Noren. Also, first-round leader, I'm going to go Fitzpatrick and Corey Connors. We talked about ball strikers. Why can't Corey be there as well? Take advantage of his approach shots. Maybe not the full tournament there, guys, but a first-round leader. I got him at 66 to 1. I'm going to have Corey Connors on there as well.
That's great.
I like Corey Connors. They just got to work on that putter. Other than that, his game should be fine. I'm not worried. I want to bet Matt Fitzpatrick too. Gogster, he always pops up in my head. It's just God, man, he's so damn.
He's got that gamer mindset. And one thing too, Cam, the weather's supposed to drop from 98 Fahrenheit on Thursday down to 70 Fahrenheit. A nice cool 70 for the guys. So that's about 20 Celsius, our Fahrenheit, for us, Cam. So it's going to dip in temperature, and there's going to be some winds too, about 20 miles per hour. And that's where I like Matthew Fitzpatrick. So maybe I throw him on the card as well, but that's where he's off the card. Like you said, you can't bet him all, right, guys? So
true.
Yeah, that's it. Do you want to take it over here, Connor? I got to run there, guys. I got another gig. I got a job I got to run too.
I'm good.
I got to deal with Sports Grid, these other guys.
I got to go work 10 and a half hours there, so I got to run. But thank you so much for our guests there, Cam Stewart, Dubsy Anderson. Check them out on Twitter there, guys. I got their Twitters here. Where are we here? Cam Stewart Live, Mr. Dubsy, and our guy Mikey P033. All of them, thank you so much for your time, guys, and your efforts. Hopefully we can get you guys back for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Until then, fellas, cash some tickets. We'll see
Thanks,
you
boys.
next time, and rock and roll. Thank you so much, guys. We be pubbing!
Peace.